so gon' tell you, man. Combinations rotate like a ceiling fan, get killed. Improvisational skill. In other words, man, I don't need a plan. Left hook like Gotti, footwork like Ali. Deja like Frederickson, blows to the body. Throwing them things, I'm about my cheddar, undefeated champ. I'm like Floyd Mayweather, however you want it, I got it for you. Jab a fella like De La Hoya, I'm Sugar Ray. You wanna play? I'ma lose my religion like Cassius Clay. Get rough, I don't bluff if you don't listen. My right might make your teeth come up missing. Knocked off balance with hazy vision. Caught that boy with a sunny list, and I swear your lip and then break your spine. Like Iron Mike up in his prime. So niggas make me do this, I'm ruthless to the end of time. Wreaking havoc is on my mind, my fist in motion is a crime. The older I get, the better my hands become in time like wine. These hands is so sublime, accurately placed up on your mind. It's like every punch I throw, I know I reach and I will find. While I hustle on my grind, you better not try to block my shine. I will beat you till you blind, press rewind, cause it go down behind the hands. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back one more time. It's your boy Mo City Menace. I don't know how we keep showing up, man, but today we got some real special people in the mix today. Somebody who represents where I'm from as well. The brother's an outstanding fighter. I've had the liberty and privilege of watching him in person. Man represents being a man and being a fighter to the utmost. But without further ado,
baby, you be going far.
Take you on the track.
Just take your time before you climb to grab that shining star.
Going far, yeah, I go the distance, and I'm so consistent, no resistance. While I'm on a mission, makes me more efficient. On this level, I can never settle for no low statistics. I can't go below terrific, niggas know I go ballistic, cause I'm flawless. Niggas cannot see me, so they never saw the shit was coming. Wonder how I done it, and I'm very cunning. I'm the rawest, since I've been the smallest. Money stacks be tallest, Ben Wallace. I'ma make them call me king like Jerry Lawler, cause I'm perfect, and I got a purpose. This is the emergence of a person, hotter than a furnace, colder than a thermos. I'm the stiffest, firmest nigga in it, bitch, you better learn this. This is gon' confirm it, going far, I gotta go the furthest. Reason.
Take no eyes from any strangers. Watch out, watch out, watch out for the worthless few.
Niggas worthless, but see me, I'm working. I cannot interpret how you stand broker than a joking. Got your pockets hurting, I'm asserting all my affirmations, so I'm just confirming this my confirmation. Ain't no speculation, I deserve it. Your girl, she be lurking, wanting me to serve it in her cervix. I give her the service with my serpent, then she go to slurping. Ain't nobody better, I ain't gotta tell you I'm that fella. Flyer than a feather, smarter than an elder with no error, no mistaking. I'm the last remaining of the realest niggas, never be partaking in the faking. Half these niggas flaky, breaking out the matrix. I'm escaping cause I've been awakened. They say ain't no pain without no gain. At first my heart was aching, but I healed it. Now I gotta kill it, that's just how I'm feeling. Niggas tried to judge me, yeah, I peeled it in my spirit, nigga, reason.
People always try to tell you, baby, you be going far. Just take your time before you climb.
we back with my boy Carlos Nava and his coach Danny Smith. Man, what's up, y'all guys? How y'all doing?
Doing wonderful.
What's up, man? I'm really appreciative to having both of you guys to pull up on us this morning, man. Man, Carlos, you know I know you from H-Town, man, but man, tell me something about you, man. How was your upbringing, man? Was you a good kid? You a horrible kid? They make you go
Nah,
back?
I was a good kid. Had a lot of energy. I was respectful, but like Coach says, I was spoiled. Like I just, my parents gave me everything. It was handed to me, and it just kind of it made me not take things for like granted. Like I
Yeah,
should have been more grateful for what I had and worked hard for it.
yeah. So What what was the influence that walked you into boxing?
I would say when my dad when he put me in when I was young, just to keep me busy, keep my mind busy. Had a lot of energy. I just was training and I fell in love with it. They threw me in sparring and I got beat up by three guys. And after that, I was like, oh nah, I'm gonna learn this and
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it back.
Yeah. So how was did you have any time that you spent within the amateur boxing program that's memorable or anything like that?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I had 88 wins, 11 losses, so pretty
You had
much,
88 wins.
yeah.
Wow. So you was busy.
I was busy. Yeah, started at 7 training, and had my first fight at 8 years old, and I was just kept fighting regional, state, nationals.
So how was that as far as the experience of being able to move around? A lot of guys, maybe they play little league football, they just play around the neighborhood, but you doing that at such a high level as an amateur, that mean you moving around and you doing a lot of traveling. How was that for you?
I didn't start traveling until I was about like 11, 12.
Man, you
Like,
got people who don't even travel at that age, man. That's big. That's big.
yeah, yeah,
How
yeah. I'm
was that?
grateful. It was fun. I mean, it was fun because I was doing the work and I loved it. But I mean, when they say travel, like you're just stuck in a hotel room. You go away in, you come back and rest, and you go fight. You do it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was just like working business as a little kid.
As a little kid, did you have any boxing influences?
Yeah, I did. I liked watching Mayweather, like Floyd. Like he
Yeah.
was one of my favorites to watch.
Why?
Besides him,
Why was Floyd one of your favorites to watch? Don't get me wrong. I know the obvious. I mean, he ain't never lost, but why
yeah,
was he one of your favorites?
just because his boxing, like he was doing it so effortlessly, and when he switched from Pretty Boy to Money Mayweather, I felt like just from a business aspect, like he knew what he was doing. He had a plan behind it.
Yeah, yeah. So I think what you're saying is that he was very calculated. You know, he
Yes,
went
sir.
from this dynamic young guy to a really thought out older fighter. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with that. But
Yeah, and it's hard work. He's always working hard and always. He never got comfortable. He never got to the point where like, oh, this is easy. I'm gonna just let off the gas. He was always on it.
hmm. Is that something that you pull from, especially when you're in the amateurs watching that? What do you say? Hard work and dedication. Is that something that you were drilling into yourself?
Yeah, as a young kid, I would always drill it, and then it got to the point where I won that gold medal in nationals as a
Tell me,
junior.
tell me about that. Tell me about that process. I mean, because I know you didn't just walk in there and they go, "Hey, Carlos, here's a gold medal." Like, how did it go?
Well, I went through regional, went through state. We made it to nationals. My first day I had got a bye, and after that I just won every day. And then at the end, I fought Charlie Shee. I think he fights at
I know
140.
Charlie Sheehy.
Yeah, I beat him by split, and I won my gold medal. And I was supposed to fight overseas, but that year after they said that juniors couldn't go overseas, so I was the youngest in that bracket, so I couldn't go.
Man, so I mean, that's a. I'm not gonna just roll over it. Charlie Sheehy is a dynamic fighter today. Is there any other notable guys that you so happen to encounter with on your way?
I fought Brian Lua. I don't know who he signed with, but
He was
fought
pretty good.
him. Um, Devin Haney and Ryan, they were on the other side of the bracket. I fought Cortez in the youth.
Okay, man, you
So
you you were in the mix with a lot of people that were had a lot of big things going.
yeah, yeah, I was in there. Yeah.
So in this process, is there any thought about turning pro, or you haven't thought about that? You just thinking about I'm doing what I'm doing right now. How does that go?
Whenever I was there and I won a medal, I was still aiming for. My goal was the Olympics. I wanted that gold medal. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to fight overseas. I wanted to be on a team. Like that was my goal, my dream. Like that's what I was striving for.
Tell me why. Tell me why is that in mind a real aim? Don't get me wrong. I know the generic stuff that people say, but you're you. So what made that something that you want to go after?
Because just fighting different countries, the experience, you get to see different styles, and you know it's always great to have that gold medal. Because once you get that gold medal here in the U.S. it's like all the doors are unlocked for you, and you can just walk in and it's easy work from there. But politics and just life hit. So as the Olympics was coming around, and my age, I was getting older, so I felt kind of rushed. So then I was like, man, I'm just gonna go pro. So here I am, and I'm on the hard road, but I'm still pushing.
Man, I seen you for the first time in person at the Red Owl, and man, you had a great performance. I think you fought Kennedy Sine. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was a real solid fight, man. That was a real dog fight. But man, I really enjoyed it. I'm like, man, who is he? I was like, man, that dude tough. And then you got this signature with your hair, so you know what I'm saying. I kind of started seeing you everywhere. I'm like, okay. As soon as you see a guy, you tend to kind of keep seeing a guy. But how was that experience fighting at the Red Dog? Because at that time it was brand new when you fought there.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. He was my opponent was undefeated too, I think.
Yeah, yeah, he had never lost.
Yeah, and then well, it was at 140. I wasn't normally fight 140. I was 35. But
Hmm.
I know he was coming down from what 54 or 50.
Yep. Yep.
So I knew he was gonna be kind of weight drained. I don't know if 6 rounds was enough, but that's all they gave me. But I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just show out, do what I do, box, and that's what I did. I kind of outboxed him, and
You
that
always
was
had
that.
this somewhat of a poise to your style when I've seen you in the past. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to omit that we got a great coach in here with us. So tell me how the collaboration between you and Coach Danny Smith happened.
Coach, you wanna tap in on that, Coach?
I mean, he asked you the question. I mean, when he asked me a question, I would
Well, there
definitely.
you go, Coach Smith. That's for either one of y'all. That's for either one of y'all. I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe one of y'all can tell me.
Oh, okay. He was affiliated with a dental surgeon that was a friend of mine that was in love with boxing and kind of
Hmm.
financed some fighters. And he gave me a call and say, "Hey, there's a young guy in Houston, and he needs a trainer and a team around him." And I said, "I'll come down and uh, take a look at him." So I came to Houston. We was at Jay Prince Gym. We worked out a couple of days. He was very respectful. I mean, he was eager to learn and to get better. He was 10-0 when I got to him, and I saw some things that he needed to work on as far as defense, offense, ring understanding, because you've got to understand the ring. When you start stepping up in competition, you got to know
Yeah.
exactly where you are at all times in there.
Yeah.
And so we got together, and it's been on the go since.
So give me some of who you are, Coach Danny. How did you get into boxing? Where are you from?
I'm
What
originally I'm
talk
originally
to me.
Little Rock, Arkansas, and moved to Tennessee, and worked with a lot of really good fighters back in the day. Coach Kenny Adams, he just passed away about 4 or 5 days ago, or a week ago, or something like that, and he's been my mentor. I also worked with Floyd Mayweather Sr. as an assistant. And I trained Ishe Smith, was a former IBF junior lightweight champion. I worked with Corrales. I worked with the 2000 Olympian. I worked with Carlos Hernandez. I worked with Fernando Vargas. I worked with a whole bunch of people. I've just been fortunate. Steve Forbes, and just the list goes on.
Man, it sound like you done made your rounds through boxing.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes,
Sound
sir.
like very seasoned, man. Are you a former fighter, or did you just get in with just coaching?
Well, I boxed in the amateurs, and I played football as well. And I went to I got a scholarship to go play football in Georgia State. So it was either you continue as an amateur, or you take the scholarship. So all my coaches was like, "Hey, I want you to be the first college graduate from our gym."
Wow, that's
So
solid. That's
that's
solid.
the route I took.
Well, let me ask you a question, Coach Danny. What did you see specifically that made you interested in working with Carlos?
Carlos, very respectable. He has great height, great length and reach. He's coachable. He wants to make it. He wants to be someone. He's not egotistical, and I like helping guys come from the bottom.
Hmm.
That that's fun for me. I was also in Puerto Rico 2 years. Coaching Jake Paul as well. know,
Okay, so you do some
it's
work with Jake.
yeah, it's different working with someone wealthy and someone that doesn't have anything. I enjoy working with people that have anything
But
more.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I can see that, but what was the process like working with a Jake Paul? I mean, this is somebody who is not on the poor end of the stick. You know, this is somebody who's got everything they probably want. You know, what was that experience like working with a Jake Paul who's kind of newish to the
Mhm.
sports? You know, to I guess I'm assuming to boxing period, but you know, what was that like?
Well, he's a good listener and he's a very very dedicated hard worker. Even though he has everything in life, he's still a hard worker, and he gives his all when he's training. So you have to respect that, regardless of experience level. So
Mm,
he was really really good in that area.
hmm. Is is it that he looks like he wants to be a fighter, or is this just something that is just working for him right now?
Well, it's one of those situations where he take fights that make sense. He's got a very good marketing strategy. They pick the right opponents to make the capital that they're trying to make. It's just something new to me. Being a content creator and sometimes creating content while training. It's just something new to me. I'm an old school guy, so
Yeah.
it was very
Put that
difficult.
camera up. Let's work type of guy, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand that he has to do what he got to do to accumulate what he's trying to accumulate.
I understand a lot of the older view of a lot of coaches and even fighters at times. But like right here, what me and Carlos doing right here, this is it's imperative, especially in today's time for the growth of the direction that a fighter may go, because it's almost no longer about you work with Jake Paul. It's not even about how much history or skill someone got. It's more to it. You know, I mean, I don't know if y'all noticed that, but you have to have everything coming. I mean, yeah, you could have a good boxing game, a good ability, but if there's no presence on the internet or social media, sometimes guys get omitted and overlooked. I don't know if you dig what I'm saying.
Oh, I totally understand it. Yeah. And you're 100% correct. The more followers you have on social media, the more money you're going to make, the more attention you're going to get from promoters because, their objective is to put butts in the seat, regardless of how good you are, regardless of anything. If you have an audience, they'll put you on stage and protect you and give you opponents that's, nowhere near your level just so they can make money.
That's
So
fact. Yep.
that the world we live in is not what I'm used to. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch a lot of the new school fighters today because they just want to come in the gym and be flashy and pretty and coaches are cutthroat. People, this guy don't like this coach, he jumps from another coach to coach. It didn't happen like that when I was coming up. When you was with a coach, that was it. Everybody respected one another.
Yeah.
Managers respect the other managers, coaches respect the other coaches. If I go to another gym, they would call that my coach, hey, your fighter is over here. And I'm on punishment.
Yeah.
Not now. They'll set you in, and it's just so cutthroat today. So I don't really care for boxing today, to be honest with you.
Carlos, man, how do you feel about the I guess what are we speaking on the social media presence that a guy has to have in order to progress his career? Like I don't know if you've given that any thought, or how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I gave it a lot of thought. I think coach is right. A big platform will give you more eyes, more money, more opportunities.
Hmm.
So I'm
Yeah.
like I'm really big on that. So that's one thing I'm trying to target.
I got another question for you, Carlos, and I think this part gets omitted, and when people speak on fighters and their growth and the direction they're going in, I gotta ask you. I know that you're a father. How do you balance being a father and a fighter with the same, not the same, but what on a high level on both of them? How do you do that?
I mean, after fights, I'll go home and I'll spend time with my kids. But when it's time to work and grind, I'll put my head down and I'm gonna work, and I'll call them every now and then. We got FaceTime now, video call. I'll see them when I can, but I'm focused on the mission, the goal. Put 5, 6, 7 years in this, and then after that, I'll spend the rest of my life just being in their lives.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what you saying is that you're gonna take the more short term, current, right now sacrifice for the long run of being able to spend more time with them. Am I hearing that right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at the end goal, the vision.
Yeah, because I mean, don't get me wrong. People always, we watch boxing. I watched the fight last night. Coach, you watched them fights last night.
Yes, yes.
When we'll get there, but you know, I don't think a lot of people give that any thought that you got this guy who's fighting on this big stage, and this is a guy who before he left he had to get a lunch for the kids for the week and make lunches, and he had to be a partner to his spouse or whatever. That stuff goes, that doesn't even enter people's mind that you're a human, and I think that's kind of what I do here. I like to make sure I humanize guys and make it very apparent that these are regular people who work their ass off to get to where they're going. You know, so that's why I asked you. Being a father and balancing that, and being an elite fighter and balancing that. That's not a easy task whatsoever. And we salute that. But I gotta ask. Me and Carlos talked a split second about it. What you thought about the fights last night, Coach Danny?
I thought it was a pretty good, entertaining card, and he asked me how I thought the Boots fight would happen. I said Boots is either going to come out and box intelligently, utilizes his jab, keeps the guy at a distance, and if he does that, he'll stop him. But if he sits there and bang with him, it's going to be a tough fight. But Boots is very, very talented, and I think he will use his distance in boxing, and if he does that, he's going to do well, which he did. So it was a good card. Ford, he did his job,
I know that Carlos was interested in that fight.
I don't know why, but I'm like, he's fighting at 130, and I need Carlos to focus on the guys at 130 and also watch the guys at 135. And we wish everybody that's rising to the top at 135 to continue to have great success, so that there's money for everyone when he gets there.
Huh. So you wouldn't look at a guy like a Ray Ford as a objective out there?
I mean, I think that in the future he would be, but Carlos needs to accomplish what he needs to accomplish at 130 to make a great name for himself. So when he does move up to 135, he can go straight into those fights without having to fight other fights to get.
So as his coach, that's why I guess I'm asking you. What are those? And I guess this is for either one of you guys. But what are those things out there that he needs to go get? I mean, I think currently what you're 15-0-1.
Yes, sir.
16, 16.
16-0-1, 16-0-1. So what are those things out there, Coach Danny?
Well, you look at the guy that beat Brandon Figueroa. What's his name, Carlos?
Steph Fulton.
Fulton.
Yes, well, we need fights like that. We need guys like him. And then you got Inoue, which is a dangerous, great opponent as well.
I mean, he's at like 22.
Well, he's moving up. He's all over the place.
Talking about the monster.
Yeah, yeah. He'll. He said that he'll come up to 130. He'll go to 20. He'll fight anyone. So we're targeting, the guys like that.
Yeah.
He's going to be a big super lightweight.
He's I look at him a little different. I see that he worked his way from 18 and became undisputed. Then he went to 22 and became undisputed. I see him probably picking off a guy at 26 or somewhere around there. But in the grand scheme of things, that guy's 30 years old. I don't see him floating too far up the weight ladder. The size that he is today is probably not for now. Don't get me wrong. When people talk money, they talk money, and guys will probably go after
Yes.
whatever brings them that.
Yes.
But just in the natural progression of weight, I have a hard time seeing that guy move past 26,
Now
maybe
you
30.
could possibly be right. But whoever it is at 130, that's our target, and our main objective is to accomplish the goal there,
Mm-hmm.
and let the guys at 135 figure out who's the best guy there. Which, in my opinion, I like Abdullah Mason more than anyone. He's the guy that I really, really like the most.
At 35,
At 35, he's very, very
yeah,
dangerous.
he's a very dangerous guy. What do you like about him, Coach?
He has a lot of old school flavor. He sits in the pocket. He looks for the counter shot. He leads with the jab. He's a southpaw. He steps and where he needs to be. He keeps his eyes on the target. He slides. He creates range and leverage. He's a very, very intellectual fighter.
It's that old school flavor, you say,
Yeah,
huh?
I love it, man.
Yeah, yeah. I like what he does because I mean I don't hear too much from him other than he about to fight. I love that about him.
I
Y-
love that, man.
Yeah,
I
that's a
well,
big that's a big plus in the eyes of a consumer that just want to watch the sport happen.
yeah,
Him being so young, get into dog fights with some guys, and man, I don't know if you recall the fight. He got knocked down twice, but
yes,
he got up
yes,
and still stopped the guy. I mean, it's a very, very mentally strong kid at this point already. But
yes, yes.
I enjoy seeing that. Man, what are some objectives? I know you got it on your name right now, Carlos, but what's some objectives? You got a future world champion. Is that just the end goal, or is there some other things that you got in mentally on the list of things you want to accomplish within the sport?
Mentally, like Coach says, I want that belt, and then move up to 35, challenge a champion there, and then if we can 140. Depending on my body, 147 is a chance for me. Besides that, I want to make an impact on younger generations, and
How so?
like I want to let them know that like I want to give them structure and discipline. Me and Coach were talking about that, and he wants to do a nonprofit at this school, military school, and teach these kids. I mean, they already got the traits, but he wants to teach them actual boxing. Coach, he's not just a coach; he's a mentor. Like he'll teach every detail and like from the ground up. That's what I love about Coach.
Coach,
And
Coach,
I
Dan,
kind of
Coach Danny, do you have military background?
No, my family and Coach Kenny Adams was a Vietnam vet, and he was a sergeant in there. And I just been around military as I grew up through life.
Okay, I think a lot of people take the discipline and apply it from that. Is that something that you've done too?
Yes, my grandfather was a Korean War veteran as well, and I had an uncle in the military, cousin in the military. I mean, I'm just surrounded by it, and the discipline structure.
I'm
It
I'm I'm a, I'm gonna be completely 100 with you, man. You come off like a former sergeant in the military.
well, I
For real.
just being in that atmosphere and being structured like that. I live by the principles.
Yeah.
Very
Man,
simple. I have
uh,
5,
Coach
and
Danny has a coach. I'm really happy that you pulled up with us, man. I'm really happy because I mean, I know Carlos was telling me, man. My coach, man, he's not just a coach, man. He's a real mentor, and I'm hearing it. I'm like, man, okay, I see where he coming from. Danny, I got a question for you, man. What's going on within the sport that you may think that we need to move away from or needs to evolve away from, or what are some things that's going on within the sport of boxing that are troubling to you?
what's troubling to me is similar to the NIL in college football.
Hmm.
It's like boxing has gotten away from what it once was, and that's the best fighters fighting the best fighters. Now it's about keeping the best fighters away from each other and trying to milk every dollar you can out of the consumers before the demand for great fighters to fight one another. Tank and Shakur should have had a fight. Be-
Man, I gotta second that. I do agree with that. Why do you think? I'm gonna be specific. Those two. Why don't you think Shakur and Tank have fought?
because Tank can still fight lesser guys and higher caliber as far as marketing strategies when it comes to fighting Garcia and guys like that, where he can make more money than fighting.
Hmm.
And then Shakir fought that guy from Dominican Republic and didn't look as great because I guess he hurt his hand. He was
Bella
moving.
Santos.
Yeah. So, so it kind of kicked him to the curb because he's not at risk of trying to be in a brawl. You know,
Hmm.
Shakir is a strategic boxer and very intelligent and counter puncher. So they don't want that kind of style when you got a marquee guy that's accumulating 10 to $15 million on pay-per-view. So now it's a pay-per-view market versus the consumers getting what they're paying for.
Carlos, you ever been in the gym with Shakur? I know you was at Jay Prince gym. You ever work with him?
Yeah, we sparred a couple times.
What do you think about Shakur Stevenson?
Very intelligent. He's very calculated. you know, he's playing chess in there. You know, he's great with his distance and range and inches. Like, you know, there's times where I thought I was gonna hit him, but I was like slightly off.
Hmm.
So
Huh.
he's really slick.
Yeah. So it sounds like when people describe him as slick, I think I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but he's mentally slick too. Like it sounds like he physically he can move around a certain way, but mentally he seems like he always puts himself in the best circumstance.
Oh
That's what
yeah,
it sounds like.
he's always on defense. Yeah.
Coach, you got a chance to see Shakur work in the gym?
No, I know I haven't. You know, I've worked with Jay Prince back in the day with a couple of fighters, but you know, having 5 children myself, I
Mm,
make a decision: do I be a great father or a legendary coach?
I dig that. I dig that. You know, I had got an opportunity to go watch him work before. I don't know, Coach. Are you familiar with middleweight Marquise Taylor?
I heard of him, but I'm
He's
not.
a he's a really tough guy. I think before Showtime shut it down, he had one of the outstanding upsets on Showtime, beating Yo Elvis Gomez. He wasn't even ranked, and Yo Elvis was ranked 5 in the WBA. He goes in there and upsets him. He was a 54 pounder, went to 160 to do so, but anyway, I go to the gym because Coach Ron Sims asked me to come up to the gym. So I came to the gym and I'm watching Shakur. Well, he wasn't even there yet. Marquise Taylor was in the gym, who's a 154, 160-pound fighter, and Shakur wanted to come up there and work with him. So I watched a unique sparring session with Shakur and a middleweight. And immediately I'm thinking, no, this ain't gonna go well. This not a good idea. I really doubted how talented that young man is. Very, very smart fighter, man.
Yes.
Very smart fighter. I mean, so there's some people who are built, you know, like like they prepare for what they're doing, and some people who are actually born to do what they're doing. You know, he's one of the guys that is born to do what he's doing, and that day proved it to me. But you, Carlos, you say he's a real slick guy. Did you notice that he's very good with his distance early?
Yeah. I'll say, you know, after that first round, I was like, oh, he stays right at bay. Like even when I try to come in, he was gonna create that distance with his feet.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed a lot about it. Did you watch his last fight in Saudi against Padley?
Yeah, me and Coach watched it actually.
Oh, y'all watched it together.
Hmm.
Yes.
Do y'all do that from time to time?
Yeah, we
Yes.
do.
And I'm guessing, Coach, you pointing little things out here and there while y'all watch.
Constantly.
Yeah, yeah. So y'all watched that fight, Shakur versus Padley. What was some takeaways in you guys' film session? Because that's pretty much what that was.
It was I kept telling him if he would keep going to the midsection, he was gonna stop him because every time he would throw a shot to the middle, he'd fold forward, which would set up the hook and uppercuts. All he had to do was keep getting that straight left hand to the midsection, and he was gonna fold him. And which it did happen.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So you pretty much saw how that one was gonna unfold.
Yes, yes. You
Man,
know, it took him a little time to pick up on it and be consistent with it, but
uh-huh.
that's going to come with a little bit more time as he stays more active.
Yeah, that's true too. Carlos, man, I think you got like a really good coach, man. I like what y'all got going. Carlos was telling me he was like been with been with this coach about a year and a half, a little over a year and a half, man. He's like family, and I'm like, man, that's good, man. He's like, is it all right if he comes on? I'm like, yeah, man. If he like family, yeah, he got to come on. But man, coach, I really, really appreciate your angle of how you looking at things, and even your openness to say, "Hey, man, I got these kids. I either be a great dad or a legendary coach." Man, that's honest, man. I asked Carlos that question. Now I might as well ask you as a coach. How do you create that balance of being a great father and an adequate coach, man?
Well, you pick and choose from my point of view what fighters you want to work with, and you can't spread yourself thin. I can only work with one fighter at a time and man
Mhm.
and a great father because I need to be home and create structure. because three of my sons played college football. One played Boise State, UC Davis, and Eastern Washington University. My daughter's at Michigan right now getting her PhD. And my other son is over in nursing, getting his nursing degree so he can be a CRNA, which is
Wow.
anesthesiologist. So I wanted to make money in boxing, simplify my life, buy properties to rent, stay home, and educate my children, and just pick one fighter here and there. So I made enough money to be able to skip 3 and 4 years of not having to do anything. So I'm
Man,
saying not do anything in life if I don't want.
that's a real calculated man. You know, I mean, you had a plan and you stuck with it, and it sounds like you really following the path that plan got you on. What's the plan going forward with King Carlos Nava? What's the direction that you see you guys going in, Coach Danny?
Uh, we're gonna. I'm got him in dance classes because I need him to be more rhythmic, smooth. I want him to be
I,
very.
I
Uh,
know I may know, but I would love for you to educate people who may not know. What do those dance classes do, Coach?
your feet is the game. I don't care what kind of combination you can throw with your hands, but if your feet not smooth and you're not rhythmic and creative, you're going to be taking punches because everything starts with your feet.
Absolutely.
So I want to make sure he's slicker, smoother, getting off the flat foot, getting out the quicksand, being able to move in and out and side to side, being on that back ball of his foot versus so flat. You see a lot of flat-footed fighters today
Yeah, you
with
do.
movement, no feints, no measures. I mean, just absolutely right there in the middle.
So from the dance classes to what's give me a 2 year window what it looks like in 2 years.
A 2 year window. Actually, it's a 1 year window. So,
Well, tell me about it.
okay, our goal is in the next fight a guy in the top 25. And you know, to be able to move in the top 10, you're gonna have to roll the dice. And so anybody in the top 10 by the end of the year or the first of the year is the goal. And
Mhm.
so after that, man, whoever will accept the challenges, we're ready for it.
Mm. So you're gonna try to break into the top 25 mix by beating one of those guys.
Yes,
Yeah, that makes sense, man. Carlos, how do you feel about that? Like, you know, just attacking, I guess more the upper echelon of the division. And coach, we're talking about 130, right?
yes.
Okay. How you feel about that attacking the top 25 at 130, Carlos?
I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever. Coach put me in. That's it.
That's
Like you said, I'm learning these dance classes, getting my feet right, getting everything right, sharpening up my tools, and then time to roll the dice, time to hit it hard and get that belt, world championship.
Carlos. If somebody were to ask, man, what's some the best parts of Carlos's game? What will be the answer to that?
I would say for sure my boxing, my range, my jab is key. Like I love my jab. You know, I kind of got away with it from it, but my jab is my favorite punch because it sets me up with everything else in my range.
Okay, okay, that's amazing that you even talking about a jab. I hope you ain't saying it just because you're coach here.
Nah, nah.
All right, because I know how it go. You know, the guys don't ever want to use that jab until the coach start talking about it. You know, coach, I'm gonna ask you the same question. What are some unique aspects that makes Carlos unique?
Um, Patience. It's patience and setting up the body shots that I love body punching, and that's something that I've gotten him to fall in love with as well, which a lot of fighters like the flashy of the head punches, and I want him to break guys down systematically and work behind the jab. The body, the head will be there once you can keep it from moving by taking some of the steam out of them, flatten those tires a little bit.
Man, that's a I honestly feel like that should be like automatic for guys. You know, I know, Carlos, you wasn't always much of a body guy before you got with Coach Danny.
No, I wasn't. I was always headshotting. I was just fast enough to get my shots off and aim for the head or whatever I wanted to, and I would land it. But as going pros, longer rounds and tougher guys, that body really wears them down. Most of my knockouts lately been from the body because of coach.
Man, that's a special thing. I know y'all. What y'all today's an off day, or y'all getting in the gym today? Y'all working out today? What y'all got going on today?
It was an off day, family day. Washing cars, cleaning my gym, tending to my garden. That
I
that's
got
that.
I gotta ask you, Carlos. I always ask fighters, man. You get a any meal in the world you want without any thought of making weight or anything like that. What you eat?
Uh, it's either gonna be wings. I like wings a lot. Or a slice or two of pizza.
So that's your weak spot, that pizza and them wings.
Yeah.
Okay, I always ask guys that, because I know you guys got to do so much to stay on point.
Hmm.
How important is your eating regimen? Considering I've watched you go down in weight now. I mean, I could say that. So I mean, because you're at 130 now, so
Hmm.
how difficult is that to even keep yourself in that type of ballpark of being a 130 guy? I mean, how disciplined do you have to be with your food intake?
I mean, I gotta be disciplined, like, at any weight, like I gotta be just disciplined at 35, 40, but it's like, it's easy now, just when you put it in your mind, like, and make it a lifestyle, like coach says, health is wealth. And, by the time I'm done with this game, like, I want to be healthy. I want to have my mind right. I want to have my life right, my body, so I want to put the right stuff in my body. So, whether it be fruits, veggies, all that. Coach has a garden. I be, asking for greens. Like, hey, coach, can I get some spinach? Can I get some kale? And he'd be like, yeah, sure, come on. He would cut it for me, and that's like the most organic where you could get it from the garden. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Coach, you got a green thumb?
I got everything that you can think of in my garden, and fruit trees. I got it all, man. I eat at home. I don't go to the store.
I know we've had people jumping in and out, man. For those people who just joined in, I want to let y'all know who we in here with, man. We in here with Carlos Nava and his coach Danny. One time, man.
Baby, you be going far. Take you on a trip. Just take your time before you climb to grab that shining star.
Going far, yeah, I go the distance, and I'm so consistent, no resistance. While I'm on a mission, makes me more efficient. On this level, I can never settle for no low statistics. I can't go below terrific, niggas know I go ballistic, cause I'm flawless. Niggas cannot see me, so they never saw this shit was coming. Wonder how I done it, and I'm very cunning. I'm the rawest, since I've been the smallest. Money stacks be tallest, Ben Wallace. I'ma make them call me king like Jared Lawler, cause I'm perfect and I got a purpose. This is the emergence of a person, hotter than a furnace, colder than a thermos. I'm the stiffest, firmest nigga in it, bitch, you better learn this. This is gon' confirm it, going far, I gotta go the furthest. Reason.
Take no eyes from any strangers. Watch out, watch out, watch out for the worthless few.
Niggas worthless, but see me, I'm working. I cannot interpret how you stand broker than a joking. Got your pockets hurting, I'm asserting all my affirmations, so I'm just confirming this my confirmation. Ain't no speculation, I deserve it. Your girl, she be lurking, wanting me to serve it in her cervix. I give her the service with my serpent, then she go to slurping. Ain't nobody better, I ain't gotta tell you I'm that fella. Flyer than a feather, smarter than an elder with no error, no mistaking. I'm the last remaining of the realest niggas, never be partaking in the faking. Half these niggas flaky, breaking out the matrix. I'm escaping cause I've been awakened. They say ain't no pain without no gain. At first my heart was aching, but I healed it, now I gotta kill it. That's just how I'm feeling. Niggas tried to judge me, yeah, I peeled it in my spirit, nigga, reason.
People always try to tell you, baby, you be going far. Just take your time before you climb.
I just want to make sure I give you your flowers of what you've done thus far, Carlos. being that you're a Houstonian, I'm a Houstonian, man. We always love and respect our guys that's doing what they're doing. I think you got a great coach with you, and I think the direction y'all going in is the absolute best direction. You know, I know today the chill day, the break, so I don't want to hold you guys too much longer. Coach Danny Smith, I greatly appreciate your time with us today. Los, man, this is a great man. I think y'all got a good thing going, and you know, I can't wait to see the next thing y'all got going. Do you have any fights on the horizon, Carlos?
Right now, we don't have a fight date, but we're aiming for, June or July, depending on what coach says, and
Come on,
follow.
Coach. What you say, Coach? Come on. What you say?
I'd say July to August because I really want this hip hop dancing and salsa to really kick in, and
Okay.
also with the program to get him super strong at 130. So July gives us a little bit more time
Because
to
I
focus.
definitely want people to be able to get their eyes on him the next time he's at bat and see all the different improvements and different tooling that you've done working with him. You know, I think y'all right there on the cusp of something great. Like I said, I've seen him before, and I'm like, man, he's nice. I like him. You
It's
know,
coming. It's coming. Them dance classes helping out.
that's good to hear, man. But just once again, Coach Danny Smith, Carlos Nava, thank y'all for pulling up, and don't be a stranger. You know what I'm saying? And we look forward to seeing y'all come back again. Is that cool with y'all?
Yes, sir. We appreciate you as
That's
well.
cool.
Hey,
Thank you,
man,
Mo.
thank you guys, man. I'll holler at y'all later on, man. Thank you.
Yes,
Uh huh.
sir. Thank you, Mo.
Hey,
Bye bye.
see y'all later, man.
Yep.
You know, we appreciate these guys so much. You know, they come to the ring and they give, you know, way more than what they have to. You know, their commitment to the sport is something on another level. You know, to be in shape, to eat right, to constantly do what they got to do, and you know that's not an easy thing to do. So you know, shout out to Carlos Nava and his coach, you know, Danny, and you know me. You know, I'm just doing what I do. You know, shout out to y'all that pulled up on me, man. Shout out to Just Do Boxing, Nick Fields. Uh, what's up, Greg Hackett? You know, everybody who pulled up, you know, just to chop it up and see how it go down. But I just want to continue to give these fighters their flowers and the attention that they deserve every time they pull up, man. So, man, if y'all ain't get a chance, hit the like button for your boy. Get the replay, watch it from the top. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm out, dog. You know,
behind the hand, so go tell you, man. Combinations rotate like a ceiling fan, you get killed. Improvisational skill. In other words, man, I don't need a plan. Left hook like Gotti, footwork like Ali. Deja like Frederick blows to the body. Throwing them things, I'm about my cheddar, undefeated champ. I'm like Floyd Mayweather. However you want it, I got it for you. Jab, I'm feeling like De La Hoya. I'm Sugar Ray. You wanna play? I'ma lose my religion like Cassius Clay. Get rough, I don't bluff if you don't listen. My right might make your teeth come up missing. Knocked off balance with hazy vision. Caught that boy with a sunny listing. I swear your lip and then break your spine. Like Iron Mike up in his prime. Don't need us, make me do this. I'm ruthless to the end of time. Wreaking havoc is on my mind. My fist in motion is a crime. The older I get, the better my hands become in time like wine. These hands is so sublime, accurately placed up on your mind. It's like every punch I throw, I know I reach and I will find. While I hustle on my grind, you better not try to block my shine. I will beat you till you blind. Press rewind, cause it go down behind the hands.